Hey there, I'm your host Lisowi, and this is part 7 of the merchant series. In today's video, we'll start the merchant setup. So with that said, let's begin. Let's go ahead and open up the inventory component. Now inside here, we'll need to create two functions. Our first function will handle the returning of items to both our player and merchant, depending if the trade was cancelled or accepted. And the other function will calculate the total inventory value, excluding money. So let's begin by creating the first one, return items. In here, we'll need the source inventory. So the inventory returning our items. Source inventory, and this will be of type inventory component. Here we want to get the inventory slots, and we'll want to do a for each loop. So then let's break this open. And if the item ID is not empty, that's the case, we want to add to inventory. And this inventory here would be our target inventory that's getting these items. So item ID we have here. So let's copy paste that. We don't need the item quantity here, so we can clean this up. Item ID goes here, and the item quantity goes there. So that's that. Now, what we want to do is, when that's done, uncompleted, I want to clear this array. So get source inventory, get inventory slots, and we want to do a for each. No, we want to clear, not a for each, we want to clear. And once we've cleared, we would then want to resize this again. So resize whatever that value is. So I want this, let me line that up. There we go. And that will be coming from here. So get inventory size. We can actually even connect it just there. So there we go. And once that's done, we want to update the inventory. So get source inventory in, there we go. And then we'll return. Next, let's go ahead and create our second function called get inventory value. Now in here, we want to get the inventory slots for each loop, do a break, and we want to check if the item ID is not empty. So we're not adding anything that's empty. So that's the case. We want to then create a local variable, local underscore total value. And how this will be calculated, we want to get the item quantity, and we want to get the item value and multiply them and then add them to the total value. So to get the item value, we need to get the item details. Break this open. Here we have the value. So let's hide everything except the value. So value multiplied by the item quantity. So we can actually hide that. Get this again. So there is that. And then this value we want to add to our total value. So let's do that. So total value plus the amount. And then this will be our value there. So uncompleted, we'll return that. Not return items. Return node. And we'll plug the total value in here. And let's just say inventory value. And there's that. So let's compile and save. Next, let's go ahead and create a new folder for our merchant. Inside, we want to create a merchant actor. So let's go to blueprint class actor, and we'll call it BP underscore merchant actor. Let's open that up. In here, we want to add two inventories, which will be the player offer and the merchant offer. So 1 and 2. Let's name them. So this will be our, press F2 to rename, player offer inventory. And this is the merchant offer inventory. Now, when you're doing this, we want, for the tutorial, I had the size set to 12. So that's what's working fine. And merchant offer 12 as well. Now we want to give them names. And for the merchant offer, make sure you do is merchant. And we'll do traders offer. And for player, we'll do player offer, or your offer. Sounds better. So there is that. And then let's go to the event graph. And in here, we want to create two events. So the custom event, we want trade canceled. And we want another one called trade accepted. So how this will work is in here, we want to have an input for the merchant's inventory. We'll do merchant inventory component. And we want to return items. And the source inventory will be the merchant offer. And then we'll do get player inventory. Now with this, I did make it a pure function, but we could just make it a normal function. So this will probably affect us somewhere. Let me go play. I remember there was something in the inventory. Oh, item data here. Item data component interact with. There we go. This will just make sure that that is valid is actually a valid inventory. So let's save it and close it down. So in here, if the inventory is valid, we'll do return items. And the source will be the player offer, like so. Now, if the trade was accepted, we'll just reverse this. We once again want the inventory component, merchant inventory, and we'll do return items. Now in here, we'll get the player items. So we'll do player offer and vice versa. So we'll do that. And this will be the merchant stuff. And there we go. Let's compile and save, and we can exit. For this next part, we'll need to have the trade view UI. So for the moment, we'll create it temporarily. So let's create a new folder in here called merchant. We could actually move that in the inventory folder since everything will be here. Let's right click and do a widget, WB_trade view. Save it and open it. So in the event graph, we want few variables. So let's go ahead and create those. So our first variable, we want to have the merchant inventory component. We'll do BPC inventory. And we want those to be expose and spawn. We then want to have the merchant actor. So let's change that to BP_merchant actor. Instance editable and expose and spawn. And lastly, we want the merchant component, which we'll create. So we don't have that right now. Component. So in order for that to work, we first need to make it. So merchant, right click, open class, actor component, BPC, merchant. Now, because it's created, we can search for it, BPC, merchant. And let's make it instance editable and expose and spawn. So we'll come back to this UI later. Next, let's go ahead and open up the merchant component. Now in here, we want to create some functions and some variables. So first of all, we'll create a function called spawn merchant actor. And this will spawn our merchant actor, spawn actor from class, pp merchant actor. We can promote to a variable merchant actor, and we can do that's all. So let's then create another function called create trade view. So we just made our widget. So create widget. That's exactly why we needed it. Trade view. Promote to a variable trade view UI, and do add to viewport. And the merchant inventory, let's promote it to a variable, and we can do that. And the merchant actor will come from here, and the merchant component will come, well, at self. And let's compile and save that. Oops. On the response transform, we actually need to split that, and this should fix it. There we go. And lastly, we need to create a function to toggle the trade. So let's go ahead and create a function called toggle trading. In here, we want to know the inventory component. So we'll do inventory component, ppc inventory, and we want to get the merchant actor and check if it is valid. If it's valid, we're already trading and we want to close it. If it's not valid, we want to set everything. So let's set the merchant inventory to this inventory component. Let's spawn in the merchant actor, and let's create the trade view. Now, if it's already valid, what we'll do is we'll call the trade canceled. So merchant inventory, merchant actor, and we'll do trade canceled. Inventory goes there. And we'll get the merchant actor once again and do destroy. We'll set the merchant actor to be nothing. And then we'll remove the trade view from parent. Remove from parent. And there we go. So let's compile and save that. So this is it for the video. In the next episode, we'll finish off the merchant UI and we'll have everything completed. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like. And as always, happy developing.